Hi everyone, in this video I would like to discuss about the physiology of iron metabolism. The iron existing in the two forms. One is the ferric form, is oxidized form, has got 3 electron shortage. The second one is the reduced form, that is called ferrous, has got 2 electron shortage, Fe2 plus, the ferrous and ferric. So therefore iron can exist in the two forms, the ferric form, oxidized form, ferrous form, reduced form. So essentially, when you look at the physiological functions of the iron is a part of hemoglobin, because hemoglobin is a metalloprotein. So iron participates therefore in the gases transporting from the tissues to the lung to the tissue as a part of hemoglobin. The majority of iron in our body is participating in the transportation of the gases, because approximately 2 grams of iron, total body iron, present in the RBCs. So the other physiological functions of the iron is iron participating in the DNA synthesis, iron participating in the electron transport chain as a cytochrome enzymes, as a part of cytochrome enzymes, and I also iron there in the myoglobin, which is there inside the cells like skeletal and cardiac muscles, and iron participating in certain oxidation and reduction processes as a part of enzymes. So these are the physiological functions. One is the oxygen transportation as a part of hemoglobin and DNA synthesis, and part of myoglobin, and part of electron transportation chain, and there in the myoglobin, and part of oxidation reduction processes. So iron is essentially or rooting in our body through the gastrointestinal tract. So iron cannot be synthesized by our body. So therefore iron has to come from the diet. So mainly non-vegetarian may have sufficient absorption of the iron, because the iron is coming directly from the meat. So we have one receptors in the duodenal luminal side, the brush border of the epithelium. This is the epithelial cells, in fact. So this is the epithelium of the duodenum, and so this side we have lumen of the duodenum. This is the basolateral aspect of the epithelial cells. So we have in fact many transporters on the sitting on the brush border of the epithelium cells. One of the transporter is heme carrier protein. The iron which is coming through the non-vegetarian source has to go through the heme carrier protein inside the epithelial cells, where it undergoes the heme oxygenation process. The heme oxygenation process, the heme oxygenase is an enzyme which breaks the porphyrin ring of the hemoglobin part. So therefore it releases the ferrous ion, reduced ferrous ion, directly from the hemoglobin. And the second way of transportation, the majority of transportation happens through divalent metal transporter. So the divalent metal transporter also transports the ferrous form of the iron, the reduced form of the iron. So majority of dietary iron coming through as the ferric form, oxidized form, that has to reduced into the ferrous Fe2 plus in order to passes via DMT1 receptor, divalent metal transporter. So the reduction process is take care of these DYCTB, duodenal cytochrome B, that is ferroreductase enzyme. So this enzyme essentially converts the ferric form into the ferrous form, because the ferrous form is the one which is form of crossing the cell membrane. In order to cross the cell membrane, the iron has to be converted into the ferrous form, reduced form. Then the question arises: why iron is existing in the form of ferric? Because the ferric form is more stable than the ferrous form, but the ferrous form is essential. Conversion of as a ferrous form, reduced form, is essential in order to pass through the cell membrane, right? So reduction process also facilitated by the vitamin C. The vitamin C rich food facilitate more iron absorption. So the duodenal lumen has got low pH, because the pH in the stomach is very very low. So the low pH in the duodenal area facilitates the conversion of the ferric form into the ferrous form, and which also helped by the vitamin C. And the ferroreductase enzyme is very active in the acidic form, acidic environment. So therefore, once the reduced form enters in this cell, so that eventually transports into the circulatory system, circulation microblood vessels, via ferroportin. This is the ferroportin, the transporter which transports the reduced form, ferrous form, into the circulatory system. And certain amount of the ferrous converts stores in the ferritin. Ferritin is a globular protein having 24 subunits. So the ferritin has got highest affinity, has got certain enzymes which converts again the ferrous into the ferric form, and therefore it stores in the ferritin. So ferritin is a molecule, globular molecule, the protein substance which stores the excess iron inside the cell. For instance, it can be any cell. Once the iron is needed, or this ferrous iron Fe2 directly goes into the plasma or circulatory system, where it again converts into the ferric form Fe3 plus, right? Conversion or oxidation of the ferrous has happening with the help of hepastin. So the hepastin is a basolateral enzyme of the epithelial cells, which converts or oxidize the ferrous into the ferric form. And therefore this ferric form of the iron is there, then binds with the transferrin. So this transferrin is the protein which carries the iron. So iron to the bone marrow, iron to the liver and muscles. So this is a carrier of the iron. The transferrin is a protein, has got two hands. One hand is binding with one ferric ion, second hand is binding with the other ferric ion. Therefore the transferrin receptor binds with the two metal ions, two metal ferric ions. The plasma concentration of the iron is approximately 3 milligrams, and once it binds with the ferritin, it essentially diverts towards or channelized towards the bone. So it therefore the iron carries up to the bone in order to participate in the erythropoiesis, because the iron has to incorporate it into the hemoglobin. So the iron synthesis, the hemoglobin synthesis is a major the physiological process of iron metabolism. So majority of iron there in the hemoglobin. And once the RBCs are become old, approximately 120 days, the RBC becomes old. The senile RBCs undergo the destruction process, and the iron releases from the hemoglobin by the help of heme oxygenase again in the macrophage cells where RBCs get destroyed, and then the iron again releases into the plasma circulatory system, again binds with the transferrin. The cycle is go on. This is called the iron recycling. And certain iron goes into the liver where it stores as a ferritin molecules. So this is a storage of iron is happening or occurred in the liver, majority of iron being stored in the liver. And the minor quantity of iron or iron also being transported to the muscles, skeletal and cardiac muscle, where it participates in the myoglobin synthesis and other essential cellular physiological processes. So this is how iron transports and participates in the major hemoglobin synthesis and also transports and stores with the liver. So this is how the transportation process is carried by the transferrin, where the iron requirement is inevitable. It can be bone, or it can be liver, it can be cells, or it can be the macrophage cells. And now surprisingly, the regulation of the iron is very dramatic, because iron loss cannot be controlled. If I have any injury, I may lose certain amount of blood that cannot be controlled. So therefore I lose my RBCs, therefore I lose my iron. So iron loss happens through blood loss, the ministration, discrimination of epithelial cells, the turnover of the epithelial cells, and sweat through skin, etc. These are the means of iron loss. So what I mean to say, the iron loss cannot be controlled, but iron overall metabolism is controlled by one fellow, that is hepcidin. This hepcidin is the substance, the hormone substance secreting from the liver. So liver cells, the hepatocytes, secretes the hepcidin. So the hepcidin secretion is very prominent when there is a inflammation via IL-6, or when there is a sufficient amount of iron availability in the plasma. So in these two conditions, there is a stimulation of the hepcidin from the hepatocytes, livers, and therefore this hepcidin is blocking the activity of macrophages and also blocking the activity of epithelial cells. Particularly, this hepcidin blocks or inhibits the function of ferroportin. Ferroportin is a transporter of the ferrous there in the basolateral side of these cells. Right. So this is how the entire regulation of the iron is being controlled by hepcidin. So the total iron metabolism or total iron requirement of our body is 1 to 2 milligrams a day. Oxygen transportation, DNA synthesis, the electron transport and oxidation reduction processes, these are the very, very important physiological phenomenon which is driven by the iron metal in our body. This is all about the iron metabolism.